Hello friends, welcome to Multiverse, and as you know that we are exploring the neighborhood of our sun, and we have explored different types of stars, different types of planets so far, and most of them are red dwarf. So today again we are exploring a red dwarf, but it has a secret. So the name of the red dwarf is Lutyens star, which is quite close by, and the star has nothing unusual. So let's get into our imaginary spaceship and get into the orbit of this particular red dwarf star. As you can see, we are in the orbit of this red dwarf star, and it is rotating pretty fast. This red dwarf is uh, about 12.36 light years away from us, from Earth, and it's a very dim star, just like any other typical red dwarf star. It is a very dim star, very hard to look at, and it has all the characteristics of any other red dwarf, nothing unique here. uh, Something that we know is that it is about 30% of the mass of the sun, but it emits most of its light in the infrared spectrum, which is not visible to human eye. So it is very difficult to look at even using a telescope. So we need to have a different types of telescope. We may be able to look all these red dwarfs in the close by neighborhood once the James Webb Space Telescopes comes to life and becomes operational. Um, However, there are two unique things about these things, and one of them is a habitable planet. And we have discovered two planets, and one of them, which is the outer one, is a super Earth type planet in the habitable zone. Now you can imagine that in a red dwarf, the star is small, and therefore things are very compact, very close by. Unlike the sun, which has the planets spread across and quite far off, in a red dwarf system, the planets are quite close by, and because of that, the habitable zone is also quite close to the star. So this planet, the outer one, is in the habitable zone. Let me repeat that the red dwarfs are very difficult to examine using the current day technology, and there may be other planets we have not been able to see so far. We have identified only two. One of them is very exciting, which is called Lutyens B, and for the namesake, we just call it Lutyens B, and it is really much bigger than Earth. It is about 2.89 times the mass of Earth. That means if you weigh 100 kilograms on Earth, and if you go there on this planet, which is called Lutyens B, you will weigh 300 kilograms. So it is three times the size of Earth, and since the super Earth has more gravity and more material, and it is around a red dwarf, then the chances are the life will get more permutation and combination to develop. So if there is life on this planet and it is around a red dwarf, the red dwarf has a very long life. Unlike sun, which will burn off in just 10 billion years, the red dwarf stars will have lives of trillions of years. So if there is a larger rocky planet like this super Earth, the chances are that the life on this type of planet will get more time to evolve. And we know that the evolution is a science, and more permutation combinations are there, the life actually tend to become more complex with every cycle of evolution. So since these kind of planets have more chance of permutation among lives, they may evolve a much complex life, much more complex than Earth. So while we feel that we are a really complex organism on Earth, but the chances are the super Earth may have even more complex, even bigger living beings. And since these are bigger and it has more mass, the super Earth also have more gravity. That means the living beings over there will be much more stout, their bones will be thicker, and the atmosphere also be thicker. So I think these are the qualities of this particular planet, and the Lutyens B is so close to Earth. It is, in terms of the environment, the amount of light it gets from its host star, which is Lattian's star, is only 6% more than the Earth. So it is about the same type of conditions that we experience on Earth um, are expected to be on this planet as well. So when I said that, hey, this is another red star, but this planet, which is Lattians B, is the closest planet so far we have discovered, having conditions very, very similar to Earth. And that is why this is so unique. And in terms of surface temperature, since Lattians B has a much thicker atmosphere, and by the way, friends, you must be aware that the Earth is a smaller planet, and because of that, the Earth atmosphere cannot have hydrogen and helium in it, and because the gravity is not strong enough to hold hydrogen and helium in its atmosphere. But the super Earth has more gravity, and therefore the atmosphere will be much thicker and will have all kinds of gases, including hydrogen and helium. And you know that in terms of hydrocarbons, we are all form of material which is carbon and hydrogen, the combination of these two. So who knows what kind of life or what kind of animal lives in these super Earth or giant planets, because even the atmosphere will have a lot of hydrogen and the chance of making hydrocarbons, and that is why it is so exciting. And because it has a thicker atmosphere, it will be able to distribute the temperature across the star. So even though the one of the side of the planet gets more light, say more heat, and whenever the red dwarf flares up, it will actually give out more heat. But the atmosphere will be so thick that it will distribute the entire heat evenly across the surface of this planet. And what we have seen is that the average temperature is 19 degrees only, and which is very, very close to Earth's temperature. I mean, if you look at the Earth's temperature, it is very similar. So apart from finding thicker atmosphere and more gravity, the conditions on Lattians B is very similar to Earth. And that is why it is so unique, and it is worth discussing in our multiverse program. And this is in the close vicinity, only 12.3 light years away. So once the James Webb telescopes comes to life, I think there will be more interesting facts we will come to know about the Lattian star, as well as this planet, which we feel is very, very close to Earth atmosphere in terms of habitability. So if you know something more than what I have told you, do share in your comments. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will meet you soon again in the next episode of Multiverse.